Hey everyone, it's Melissa. Today's video is about a foundation. I have been trying drugstore foundations as an alternative for everyday wear for my Lancome Stick foundation. It is still my favorite, but it is expensive, and I'm trying to find foundations that I like with the summer months coming up and that I can wear to work and, every day, and then save my Lancome like when I'm filming or something, or unless I'm showing the foundation, then I will wear it. But the Lancome does look prettiest of all. But I have rediscovered actually, one that I wanted to talk about and kind of tell you all about. It is called the Maybelline Dream Matte Foundation, and my color is Pure Beige Medium 2. And I may have mentioned it before in other videos, but with this summer coming up and things being hotter and more humid, I wanted to mention it again just in case I haven't. This is a foundation that I used at least 10 years ago, before I started doing YouTube, before we ever redid our bathroom, because I can remember standing where the old mirror was and putting on this foundation. I wore this foundation for quite a bit, and then when I started YouTube, I tried different foundations, but this one I always felt very confident when I wore it because it lasted, it didn't break down, and I knew that it wouldn't oxidize. It would always look nice on my skin. Now, I have talked about a couple of more foundations that I think are nice. One of them is for the summertime. One of them is the Revlon Color Stay Full Cover. That is very nice too. And then recently I talked about the CoverGirl Outlast Extreme Wear 3-in-1, and that is really good. But I'm looking for one that performs a little bit more like that Lancome Stick foundation. More like a cream to powder. Goes on like a cream, dries to a powder, but doesn't look cakey like powders can. This is an unusual foundation. It says it's a mousse, and it does sort of look like a mousse, but here's the thing about it, what makes it so unusual. It almost has little fibers in it. And when you put it on with your fingers, not any other method, but when you put it on with your fingers, the fibers can kind of fall off your fingers a little bit. Now, if you were to, whenever you mush up the fibers, they are cream. They are creamy. It's sort of a textured mousse. It's like a mousse that's been sitting out in the sun for a few days, a food mousse. It just gets kind of textured. And that's what this is. Like I said, I've used it a long time, and I would go in the drugstore and see it periodically and think, oh, there you are, old friend. I would be kind of nostalgic about it. And it always looked kind of pitiful to me, like an unloved piece of makeup that, is surrounded by all the bright, shiny ones. And I'm really surprised that Maybelline still makes it. Well, now they won't. Now that I've talked about it and now that I like it, they hear somebody likes something and they discontinue it. But it is still out there for now. And hopefully it'll stay. I found it at my local CVS, but, it still seems to be going strong after all these years. It's just a real unusual one. Here's what I like about it. It goes on, when you first start to put it on, you think, oh my goodness, it is so creamy. I thought, well, this is just going to be too greasy for me. Even when I got it back out again, because I bought a new one, and my old one, I figured it had gotten too old, so I got rid of it. I bought me a new one, unwrapped it and everything, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is greasy and going to be too creamy for me. But then it starts drying, and it almost turns like velvet. It's kind of amazing. And I demonstrate putting it on. And by the way, when I put it on, when I'm demonstrating it, I have on some wacky lashes that I was trying out that actually didn't work very well. So I'm going to kind of work with lashes a little bit more. They ended up falling off, taking off. Anyway, that was a big old mess. But so I do have on some kind of funny looking lashes. So I demonstrate the different ways to put it on, that I put it on with a damp sponge, with my fingers, with a brush, but really This foundation is so creamy and easy to put on and easy to spread that you can use any kind of method that you want. You really can. Today I put it on with just one of these cheapo rubber things that you can wash over and over again till it wears out and you throw it out. And I did it dry, not even a damp sponge. I did a dry sponge. That's how nice it is. So you can use a wet sponge, dry sponge, cheap sponge, expensive sponge, cheap brush, expensive brush, your fingers, whatever you want to do. You could probably use the palm of your hand and slap it on and it would go on real well. Get it blended. It dries to a beautiful velvet finish. So I'm going to demonstrate putting it on right now. Okay, there it is, brand new, opening it up. And you can see it looks kind of like a mousse there. You can sort of see the texture on my finger. Getting a waste paper basket just in case I need it. And I'm putting it on with a damp sponge first to see how that does. And it just goes on pretty much with anything. It doesn't really matter. Easy to blend. Now I'm going to do it with a brush, just as easy with a brush. I think the best way of all was the way I did it today with just one of those dry sponges that are kind of rubbery. That one just really did the best as well as anything. Thought I would show you a little bit with my fingers. You can see with your fingers, I don't know if you can tell or not, but it just sort of starts, you can't get it on as well. Okay, and this is what it looks like after I got all my other makeup on. This is what it looked like about 6 o'clock that night. And I do have some wacky eyelashes. Some of them started kind of coming off. It was kind of a mess, but and then this is at 11 o'clock at night. You can still see the wacky eyelashes. And I'm tired. I've been through it, you know. I feel like the demonstration did not show how well it stayed on because the camera just picks up all your faults. So any breakdown, slight breakdown that it had, it showed up on the camera and the bright lights. But it performs very well. It doesn't oxidize. It stays on very satisfactory for me, and especially with a mask on, and especially in hot weather, and especially the way things break down with me. It's going to work great for people with normal combination oily skin, I think. I really do. I think people with dry skin can wear it, and I would be interested if some of you get this that have dry skin and try it. Now, in the summertime, your skin's going to not be probably as dry as it is in the wintertime, so it might be a good, time to try it. If you do try it, let me know. I'm kind of interested. I think that y'all could get it on just fine, and I would be curious to see what you think when it dries out to more of the powder. That's what's going to be interesting because I just don't know. I don't have dry skin, but I do like it. I think it's such an interesting, beautiful foundation. It is not my Lancome stick foundation, but it is one I could wear all summer long. Good price, you get a lot. It blends beautifully. You don't have to put any other product over it. If you like a full coverage foundation and you like powder over it, then you're going to like this foundation. If you like a full coverage and you like powder over it, but the powder gets cakey, you're going to like this foundation. If you like a full coverage that's probably going to last pretty well, you're going to like this foundation. If your skin if foundations tend to oxidize on you, if they tend to break down, if oil tends to break through, if you try this, I think that you will be pleased and this might be the foundation for you. It's a nice little foundation. And I don't ever hear anybody talk about it. But this is one that is one of my favorites for drugstore, I think, for the summer. And I've got one more that is a Maybelline that I don't hear many people talk about it, that I've worn off and on for a real long time. They have reformulated it, and so I'm going to do a video on it because I like the new reformulation. It's a really good one. But this one is my stand on, tried and true from way back. They didn't change it, and it's good. Give it a try. So thank you so much for watching. Everybody have a wonderful rest of the weekend, and hopefully I'll get those eyelashes sorted out and I can do a video on that. But anyway, talk to you soon and take care. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.